good, thank you.
Thank you. So we're here at the Thermal private club with this beautiful new car. So the Acura NSX. So you weren't born with the new one when the old one came out, right?
Just.
Oh, just
okay. Born. So
yeah.
And the interesting thing is on that car, on the original NSX, my dad.
Yeah. The great Bobby Ray Hall, of course.
Was a very small part in the development of that.
Okay.
And did a similar thing to what I'm doing now. So it's, you know, it's kind of cool to see the.
It's within the family.
Yeah, it is.
That's pretty cool.
The ties to Honda Acura are pretty deep. So it's.
So you obviously have driven it before. What can you tell us? I mean, what are your initial reactions to the car?
Well, I've driven it quite a lot now. I've spent a lot of days in it, and you know, I think it's a very unique car. It's definitely very fast. The acceleration is extremely good.
Yeah.
The braking capability of the car is really good. What I think is coolest about it, and most enjoyable, is that the car really does what you want it to do.
Okay.
You know, if you want the car to oversteer a little bit, you can get it to do it. If you want the car to understeer into the corner, you can do all these things based on how you brake, how you give the car throttle, how you steer the car. And there's not many cars anymore that do that.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the cars today are almost so refined.
Yeah, they control everything.
That you can't just go out and have some fun. And the other side of this car, of the NSX, lives to what the true meaning of the car was originally, and the true value of it, which is the everyday supercar. So this car very much
pretty comfortable
is something you could utilize every day. You can fit golf clubs in the back. It's small, but you can fit golf clubs in the trunk. You know, you go drive a lot of other cars and you're putting them in the passenger seat.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah.
So it's very different. But I really enjoy driving it. The other thing to note is, not only do we have all these different dynamic modes, like right now if you hold the knob to the right, we're gonna click it over into track mode there. But the one thing about this car that a lot of people don't realize is it's a 9-speed gearbox.
Yeah.
So no matter what kind of corner you're in, no matter what kind of speed that corner may be, you're gonna have a gear for everything. And we can take this car from the track and be going extremely fast, and take it out onto the freeway and get incredible fuel mileage.
Because it's a hybrid.
Yeah, with the 9 speed, you put it in 9th gear going, you know, 75 miles an hour, and it's barely using any fuel.
So the other thing about this car, I mean, having the hybrid component, the sound of the car, I mean, the still the V6, it's really cool too.
Yeah, the noise is, you can definitely hear it. It's very good for a V6, and we all know what we face with noise as far as turbocharged engines. Turbochargers, typically a quieter engine. So, you know, at the end of the day, I think they've done a great job with this car. And let's not forget that Honda, in a corporate sense, with Acura, Honda, whatever the parent company, is all about efficiency.
Of course.
And so noise, for a car to be loud, is not something that Honda represents. You know, they want a very solid sound, quiet car. So you can hear, car's got great acceleration. And what we're doing today with the ride's really, like, for me right now, I just have to look in the mirror and see.
Yeah, we have some people following, so you have to pay attention.
Who's behind me? How far behind? Otherwise, I could really go out here and give you a bit of a thrill.
So speaking about the driving modes, track mode, and also the automatic transmission, but you can also do it with the paddles.
With the paddles.
What's your preference?
I like the paddles because I like to control what the car is doing.
Yeah.
I will say, with this vehicle, if you're on the track and you put it in Sport Plus or track mode and you leave it just in drive, it is extremely good about shifting when it's right. So I like the manual because I like to control it. But some others may just prefer to use,
Yeah, and
drive mode.
And not only you like to control it, you know how to control it. I mean, you're a professional driver. Give me a break. Because like people, I mean, I'm not that good of a driver, so for me it would be much better to have the automatic transmission and do the work, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think it makes it a little bit easier, and particularly on the track for those who aren't excellent drivers. The one thing it does is it allows you to just more focus on the track and having fun.
There's a lot of things that you have to pay attention
than everything else.
Yeah.
So you'll see, I mean, car accelerates extremely
almost
well.
130 there, like really quickly and with not much effort, really, huh?
And it really is a spectacular car. And as you can see, the braking performance of the car is extremely good. And you know, the other thing that I haven't seen a lot of people talk about with this car is the size of it.
Yeah.
Yes, it has weight to it because it's a hybrid and it's got the electric motors and all that.
Yeah.
But what is cool about this car is it's still very compact. It's very small. You know, I don't know, when you look at a supercar and stuff these days, typically they're getting bigger and bigger and wider and taller. And
exactly.
The NSX is still a
true sports car.
Yeah, it's very cool in that sense. When you sit in it, I think the visual is very good out the front.
Yeah,
there's
like
a lot of vision
out there with nothing in front of you.
And you've got the fender flares. You just see the top of the fenders, which is really cool. I think they've done a lot of stuff right, and as you can see, it's you know, pretty comfortable inside. The seats.
Exactly, because it's small in the outside, but it's pretty comfortable. I mean, you're like
I'm tall.
Yeah,
you know, I'm 6'3" or so. Yet you know, I can wear a helmet and still have headroom. And the side,
you feel like it's not lying. I mean, you have like a good inch in between.
The side bolster of the seat is also really good. And they've done a great job without having a bucket seat.
Yeah.
To still give you a lot of support.
Pretty tricky track, huh?
Yeah, it is.
A lot of sharp turns.
It's fun. As you'll see, this is your dynamic mode knob here. So we can adjust this if you go to the left, you know, sport plus, back to the right, and then if you hold it, it clicks into track mode.
Really easy operation, very simple. Some of the other cars, you have to go through menus and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty.
It is, yeah. And the other great thing about this car that I think is a lot of fun is the power band. It's got a great power band. Yes, it's hybrid, so it is getting some support from the hybrid system.
Yeah.
However, the car never seems to have a hole in the power band. The car always pulls.
It gives you
pretty aggressively.
Something, yeah.
In the hybrid system, they've done a great job with it. That it's very smooth in transition. So the only way you really know that the hybrid system is working is on the dash. It says assist in charge right here.
Okay.
You know, so if it's on, it will go all the way up full assist. That's the only really way you know it's on all the time.
Yeah, with the physics of the car, like you don't really feel anything.
No. It's a fun car. I think people, you know, when they come out and they're more available on the street, which obviously production is relatively limited, but when they're available out on the street, I think people that own these cars are going to really love them.
And I think for the price, obviously it's not a cheap car, but I mean for the price for what you get in that technology, there are other cars in that segment that are really, really much more expensive.
A lot more, yes. A lot more. I mean, you look at, you know, 911 Carrera S or something, which isn't even the performance model anymore. and the price of those is quite high.
Yeah.
You know, with the MSRP when you build it outright. So, you know, and this obviously far exceeds the performance of that. I think your performance standards are pretty well above a 911 turbo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So, and that's a very fast car.
Which is a great car, yeah, exactly. Well, I guess it was worth the wait. For all those years that people were waiting for this new car to come out. I mean, well, here it is now. It's a reality, and like really.
It is a reality. It is cool. It's you know, they've gone through a lot with the development of this car. You know, with the engine layout, you know, the direction in which the engine is, looking at, you know, other forms of engine. You know, they've had to increase the power output significantly, so that took a major design change on the internal side of the engine. And then, you know, we're still developing to this day. You know, when I do days like this, you know, at the end of the day, they'll ask input, and they can still go and make minor changes. I mean, you look at other companies like your McLaren and, you know, Porsche and others like that. You know, they're constantly evolving their cars, even when they're in production use anyway. And I think you'll see something similar here. You can always make it better.
Well, what a great story that your dad worked on the original and you working on this. I thought like that's a really complete, beautiful circle.
It's a lot of fun.
Thank you very much, Graham. I really
you.
enjoyed it.
Thank you.